Smooners, welcome back to Being Mrs. S. Let me sprinkle some magical dust on you. Because we're talking about BGM, babies, Black Girl Magic. So I'm giving you some of that magic while you're here today. So welcome back, my Smooners. If you are not part of the Smooners community, what are you waiting for? You see that little red button that says subscribe on it? Go ahead and click it for me, honey. Click that subscribe button and join the Smooners community because, hey, we are living for it. Okay, so, before we start, let's get into it. Let us get into it. Oh, Ozempic, you know. Oh, Ozempic, you know. We've got to sing that song because Ozempic is working. It's magic. Okay, so let's get into what our topic is today. What is that? Yeah, let's get into our topic. Today, it's going to be a short one because I told you guys every month I am going to give you an update of my weight loss progress, where I am currently. And for those of you who are probably just watching this for the first time, let me just give you a quick 1, 2, 3 of the whole thing. And you, if you've been watching my videos, just bear with me. This is for the people who are seeing this for the first time. So as I've always said, or told you guys whenever I started talking about my weight loss journey, I grew up a very skinny person, very active, energetic, and then when I got into my late 20s, I started gaining weight, which I was happy about because, you know, I've been skinny all my life. And then I guess I just would gain some weight, and then I'd be like, okay, I'm good, and then I'll lose, and then I'll gain, and then I'll lose. It was like very yo-yo, which is really not good for the body. But as I got into my late 30s, that's when I really hit the high numbers. But as usual, it was always so easy for me to lose the weight. Now, a woman of a certain age, it has become a lot tougher for me. If you're subscribed to my channel, and I hope you subscribe, go ahead and see. I have playlists. I have my weight loss journey, and you'll see one of the thumbnails on that. That photo was taken in Acapulco, Mexico. This was after I had lost about 90 something pounds, about 96.4, 94.6. I can't remember which one it was. And then I got back to where I was when I was growing up as a teenager and in my early 20s. So, some people will be like, how did you do it? And I don't want to say it was relatively easy for me to do, but the fact of the matter is it didn't seem as daunting and as difficult as it is now for me when I did it back then. And then again, if you've seen my videos, I was on HCG when I got down to that photo. So this time around, I think is the worst I've ever had it. At one point, this was sometime last year, I got up to 276 or so pounds. And I knew I was gaining weight when I started this YouTube channel. I started it, of course, talking about my life and things like that. But part of what I was going to do was try to lose the weight and get back down to a weight that I knew I could maintain. And I had started doing it really, really well. And midway through 2020, I think I got down to about 208 or so. And I don't know what, well, I do know what happened. The pandemic, a lot of stress. We're having a lot of stress here, financial stress, and that gets me all the time. Any other stress, I'm good. But when it comes to money, no, let's not play those games. I don't know what to do because I'm just trying to figure out a way to get out of that rut. Anyway, so sometime around last year, so I started putting back the weight. Then in 2020, when I started this YouTube channel, I think I was about 246, 248 when I started to lose the weight, and then I think midway through the year I got down to about 208. Right now, when I started on Ozempic, I was 256, but prior to that, maybe about a few months before that, I had like skyrocketed to 276 pounds, and that's the heaviest I'd ever been in my entire life. I don't think I've ever crossed the 260 mark. I don't think I'd ever crossed that, now that I think about it. But when I saw that number, I was like, wait, I'm like 24 pounds away from 300 pounds. This doesn't even make sense to me. So I think because my body had never been at that weight, it wasn't as difficult as it is, you know, to come back down to the 260s. And then from the 260s, I tried and I would lose and I would get it back. And that's where Ozempic came in. Now, I'd already heard about Ozempic, I mean, way back in 2020, or was it 2019? But I had to do the research on it because I'm not one person who likes to solve my problems, you know, with pharmaceuticals and things like that. Or, you know, I did the research and I determined that it was a natural hormone that we produce. And just like HCG, I was like, well, you know, I did HCG. Let me give it a try. I didn't anticipate it was going to be as expensive as it was because I figured because I have insurance and, you know, I'm morbidly obese and I was pre-diabetic at the time, which I wasn't even aware. So I didn't think it was going to be so expensive. When I went to my doctors and they prescribed it for me, it was expensive because my insurance wouldn't cover it. Until this day, they have refused to cover Ozempic for me. So it's been really tough, and it's been really tough, quite upsetting, but on the upside, it's working for me. Which leads me to part of the topic today. I know a lot of my videos, I've seen people commenting about, you know, I'm on Ozempic and I'm not losing any weight. Last week I spoke to one of my friends who lives in Canada. Now, Canada, that's the place to be. If I could relocate to Canada for the next few months, I would, because apparently in Canada, they tackle obesity as an issue that needs solving. So if you were a Canadian who was obese, they would prescribe you Ozempic for free if you didn't have insurance. But if you do have insurance, all you pay for it is $45. This was verbatim. It was somebody I know who lives there. And I didn't know. She dropped it on me and told me, look, I've been on Ozempic. And I was like, what? You've been on Ozempic? Why did I say that, honey? She said she didn't lose any weight on Ozempic. That instead she gained like over 10 pounds. And I was like, you're kidding me? She says, yes. And the funny thing about it is, after I had that conversation with her, I got, you know, those surprise bills you get from your doctor's office, and you're like, what the hell is this? And they tell you, well, you need to contact your insurance company. So that really pissed me off, because I was like, contact my insurance company. They're not paying anything for me with my prescription. Why are they charging me extra? So whatever kind of insurance I have, there's a should I call it deductible or threshold I have to meet before the insurance company starts covering the vast majority of doctor's visits or prescriptions or whatever the case may be. So anyway, didn't know what that whole thing was about, so I called my insurance company, and there's where the conversation started. I was like, you cannot be serious charging me money to go and visit the doctor, and you're not even covering my Ozempic that I need. And they started talking about, well, you have to be diabetic for. I said, no, don't even play that, because even if I were diabetic, you would still deny it, because I never first of all tried glucophage or metformin or whatever. So let's not play those games. And they're like, well, still, you're not diabetic. I was like, this conversation is the dumbest conversation ever, because the people who make the drug have stated over and over again that if you have a BMI of 27 and you have a comorbidity, meaning like pre-diabetic or heart disease or high blood pressure or whatever, the drug's for you. If you have a BMI of 30 and over, this drug is for you. At the time when I went to see my doctor, my BMI was at 38.6, something really ridiculous. And I was like, why am I even having this conversation? Because it sounded like you don't even know what you do for a living. You don't understand how this works. Anyway, why am I bringing it up? So the lady I was talking to, she was like, I'm diabetic and I'm on Trulicity, which is one of those classes of drugs. I mean, this thing has been around for a long time, just to segue a little bit. Ozempic is getting all the hype, and now I think Mounjaro is picking up that hype as well, because even though these drugs have been around since Ozempic, the makers of Ozempic have a drug called Saxenda. I think that's a liraglutide or something like that, which is specifically for weight loss. So it's not like this is like a novel idea or it's not been around. They've had drugs that have produced to tackle weight loss, and of course now their Ozempic is for diabetes, and then they have the exact same one, Wegovy, which they're saying is strictly is the weight loss option for Ozempic. And the only reason it's different, or it's marketed with a different name, is because they have the 1.7 dose and the 2.4 dose. Ozempic stops at the 2 meg dose. Anyway, so the reason they're hyped now is whatever formula they used or the way they mixed it up this time, they've made it in such a way that it's a 1 week shot as opposed to a daily shot. I think the Saxenda is one that you have to give yourself a shot every day. But they've made it a 1 week shot. They've designed it to last longer in your system, and so it's more effective than whatever else they had before in the past. So that's why everybody's like hot on it right now. And everybody's coming up with their version. So Ozempic and Wegovy and Saxenda and Rybelsus, those are produced by Novo Nordisk, and then Mounjaro is produced by Eli Lilly, which they just announced last week or so that they are capping the insulin deductible at, I think it was $35. And I was like, yeah, because they're about to make a killing on Mounjaro. When they were doing their trials or whatever it was they were doing with Mounjaro, they had a coupon out there and people were able to pick it up for like really, really cheap. But now they've stopped it. They've put the the requirement that whoever it is that is taking the Mounjaro needs to be diabetic. So I think what they're going to do is they're probably going to do the same thing that the Novo Nordisk did, put out Mounjaro maybe specifically for diabetics, and then they're going to come out with one that's exactly the same for obesity. Across the board, if you're lucky, your insurance company is covering this drug, And then if you're unlucky, like, no, I'm not gonna say I'm unlucky, honey, I'm taking the win. It's a win. A win is a win. I'm taking the win because this drug is doing something for me, and I will spend the money to, put myself in a space that is healthy. Anyway, going back to the lady I was talking to on the phone from the insurance company, she says she's on Trulicity, and she's also morbidly obese, and her sister, who is also morbidly obese, is on Ozempic. I said, but your Trulicity is covered by insurance company. She says, yes, but I'm diabetic. Okay, carry on. And she goes, her sister is on Ozempic and gained weight. And then, this is what she was telling me, and I was like, what? And then it was so funny, like a few days after that on the news, because Ozempic, they're still talking about it. On the news, there was a story, this lady talked about how she was on Ozempic and how she couldn't look at food, and she would look at food and literally want to throw up, and she had all these stories. And then at the end of all that, she said she gained weight. She didn't lose any weight, and that now her insurance isn't covering it, or whatever the case may be. Right. So so I was like, I started thinking, I was like, I wonder if these people aren't losing weight because insurance is covering, their insurance is covering it, and they don't have to shell out some cold hard cash for the thing. Because I feel as if you're paying the amount of money that these drugs cost, you're gonna make sure it does what it's supposed to do. That was the thought that went through my mind. I was telling the lady on the phone, I was like, I guess because you guys don't, all you're paying is $45 for the drug. That's why you're not allowing it to do what it's supposed to do. I mean, honestly, that's the only thing I can think of, because, honey, I'm losing weight. Anyway, so back to the whole people stating that they're not losing weight. I talked to my friend who said she gained, and all these news stories about people gaining weight and having not lost weight. Like I said in the video that I posted, I think maybe last week or the week before, I think it's a magical drug, but the fact of the matter is it's not magic. You still have to do the work. You still have to exercise. You still have to manage what you eat. After a while, the drug is going to lose its efficacy. It's going to wane. Maybe when you first started it, you didn't feel like eating at all. But as your body gets used to it, and that was never my situation, let's be honest. In my mind, I was like, I want to eat, but it's not that serious. But my stomach was hungry. My stomach wanted food. But my mind was like, it's not even that serious, right? That was the effect it had on me. And then where my stomach came into place, when I did finally eat, my stomach was like, all right, let's stop now, because I'm at capacity. So that's that gastric emptying, the slowing of the gastric emptying. That's how that works. And then, as I said, in my mind, you somehow, we don't have to eat. We're not that hungry. But there is the appetite. You're still hungry. You still want to eat. And again, these things, it's your will. If your will is to lose the weight and to get healthier, then you will allow that those messages that are being sent to the receptors in your brain that are telling you you're not hungry, or where your stomach is full, or is feeling full. You will allow those things to work for you, and you will submit to what's happening with your body. Okay? But if you don't submit, if you fight that urge to stop eating, if you fight that urge to not pick up the food to eat, I think you will not lose the weight. I think you will continue to gain. That's the way I see it. this is the weekend. I told you guys we do our wind down weekend. Me and my BDD, where we have wine and things like that. And my BDD says, you know, you want a glass of wine, and I wanted a glass of wine, but I said no, because today's Saturday, and then Sunday is gonna come around, and there's space for that. But yesterday I was like, no, I don't want any wine. But I wanted wine. You know what I mean? But the Ozempic was saying, you don't need wine, right? You know? And I could have said, nah, I'm stronger than you, Ozempic, and I'd had the wine. There are times I'm eating and I feel full, but the food is so good. But Ozempic is saying, hey, I'm at capacity. And I could say, no, I know that's just the Ozempic talking, and I could keep eating. But I allow it to do what it's designed to do, and I back up off the plate. So I want to say maybe that's why it's working for me. Well, let's go down the list. One, I'm paying out of pocket for that mess, and it's not gonna go to waste. No, sir. I will use it up to, you have to, the way the pen works, there is a oh, it's finished, so it's not going to move, but you can see where it says the 0 there. There is like a little some dashes that you can move it to, so that you can test that the needle is a good needle. I hate doing that, because when you do it, it squirts out some of the drug, and I'm like, it's too expensive to waste. I can't be squirting that out. That's how serious it is for me. Okay? I am spending money on this drug. I'm gonna lose the weight. I am going to lose the weight. So I don't know, and as I like to preface everything I say by letting you guys know that I'm talking about Ozempic for me. I'm not a doctor. I'm not diagnosing anything for anybody. I'm just trying to live my best life. And in doing so, there are things that I do. If you check my last Ozempic video, I talked about my 8 tips, the things that I do that have helped me and that I keep doing. So I drink a lot of water. I stay hydrated. I drink a lot of water. Even before the Ozempic and how it slows gastric emptying, I have a very slow, stubborn stomach. And it was like a eureka moment when I figured that out. So I researched it, and now I'm doing a lot more fermenting, and I take shots of apple cider vinegar every day. I said this in my last video. All those things combined are helping. Okay, so I'm in that perimenopausal phase right now, and if you're watching this and you're in the same phase, there's nothing we can do about biology. There's nothing. It's just the way it's I can look at food and start gaining weight. That's where we are right now in our lives. It's really an anomaly for that not to be happening for women in this stage of their lives. So there's so many biological things that are happening to us right now that it makes it even extra difficult to lose the weight. Which is why what was it the other day? I saw something. People were going after Kyle Richards. I think she's on Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, that she took Ozempic. One of her fellow housewives let it out of the bag. And she's the same person who denies the amount of surgery she's done, even on the show. She's always going to these estheticians. She's the one who convinces her sister to do nose jobs and things like that. So she will lie about surgery she's done, and she lies about Ozempic. And she said, I think the comment she said was something about, I can't believe people would think that I would take a cheat drug to lose the weight. And I was like, girl, why is it a cheat drug? Why is it a cheat drug when it is extra difficult to lose weight? Why are you even calling it a cheat drug? Listen, if you want, going back to Canada, I think they even offer gastric bypasses and stomach stapling and, you know, the reducing of the stomachs for free as well. If I'm not mistaken, this is what I was told. They will suggest that to you if you try the Ozempic route and that doesn't work for you. They'll be like, look, let's schedule the surgery for you. Is that cheating? How is it cheating if your biological makeup makes it impossible or extra difficult for you to get to a healthy space? I don't understand. So sign me up for Ozempic every single day until I have gotten control of the situation. And it's mind and body. It's mind, and everything is from your brain and then the physicality of everything, you know. So people don't understand it. It's not your place to try to explain it to people. You need to figure out what's good for your life. I'm all about self-responsibility, taking control of your life, owning your life, and making yourself doing what's best for you. Anyway, so soapbox. I've been on my soapbox. But get into it. Let me see. I think that's all I wanted to talk about with Ozempic. Oh, and again, I figured this 40 days out since Ash Wednesday. It's Lent period. Perfect timing because, you know, I'm fasting, so it's even extra, and there's going to be an extra push, or I'm probably going to lose even more during this 40 days. So I'm excited about it. I'm a carnivore. I like to eat meat. Give me all the meats, all of the meats. And so for Lent, I typically give up meat, which is hard. Maybe instead of eating it every day of the week, I either 86 it completely, or I eat it for maybe just one day out of the week, right? But essentially, I eat more fish because on Fridays, got to eat the fish. So I don't want a day where I forget to eat fish on Friday. So I just pretty much replace everything with fish. So one thing that I know, when I was on HCG, this helped me a lot. I bought, the fish I ate was mostly white fish. So things like tilapia, which is really, really cheap, and cod. And the preparation then, I couldn't cook with butter. I had to steam everything. And I think I've told you guys before on this channel that I'm not cutting out anything. So I've gone to the grocers and I've packed on, I have a lot of cod. Cod, for some reason, is lower in calories than tilapia. I don't even understand how that's possible, but it is. And it's, to me, it's a better tasting fish than tilapia. But I got cod, I got tilapia, and I have a little bit of salmon. So those two, so I eat mostly the white fish, and I think cod is like 70 calories or something like that, and then the tilapia is like 110 calories. But they're nice and feeling, they're already portioned in those calorie classes or whatever. I cook with butter. I cook with all my seasonings. I don't cook with salt so much anymore, but it's not, I'm not a big salt person, but it's not like I'm restricting myself that I can use salt when I want to. So that has helped me this past few weeks, a few days, because I've literally been losing at least a pound a day. I'm not joking. I am not joking. Next video, but because there's apparently still a shortage of Ozempic and Wegovy, people are buying the drugs where they can. So they'll get Ozempic in this dose and get Wegovy in this dose, and that people are taking Ozempic and Wegovy at the same time, which I can understand that because they're the same drug. And then also to cut costs, or for people who are, I don't know how they do it, but they go to local chemists to compound the semaglutide for them. That's what I was gonna do more research about to even find out if that's a thing. But I don't know how they're doing this, but people are doing that so that they can get at the fraction of the cost of the actual drug. So those are the things that I'm seeing that people are doing. I wanted to talk to you about the fact that people are not losing weight on Ozempic. And as I said, I think the reason they're not losing weight is just because their insurance is covering it. So they don't have to do the extra things they need to do to lose weight. I think for some of them. For the others, everybody's created, we're all the same, but at the same time, our bodies react differently to different things. So it's like someone has a peanut allergy, and I can eat all the, and they just have a peanut allergy, but they don't have allergies to other tree nuts, right? Some people are allergic to eggs. Some people are allergic to the weirdest things. I'm not allergic to anything. So the way a drug will interact in my body is probably going to be different from the way it interacts in another person. Like I said, since I started this journey, and I started Ozempic on November 2nd, I believe. Yes, November 2nd was when I started. I haven't experienced one single side effect. The side effects that a lot of people said they were getting while on it, I haven't experienced one single side effect. So everybody's body is different. If Ozempic isn't working for you, or Wegovy, I don't know, maybe Mounjaro will work for you, which it's the same. Mounjaro has the extra GIP, but there is GLP-1s and the GIP. Ozempic is just the GLP-1 agonist. So I don't see, you can do that, but I'm not sure how it wouldn't even be worse, right? So, but it could help. So maybe you try a different one, Trulicity or one of these other things, to help you lose the weight. So that's what I was going to talk about. Okay, so I'm still obese. Per my app, I am still considered obese class 1, right? And my BMI is now at 32.4. So, and I like, it's so good because when I started this, when I started using this app will say, you put your starting, well, I don't think it had my starting weight as of at the time I started Ozempic. It had a different starting weight. So I got the app before I actually started on Ozempic. But anyway, it tells you your estimated days until your goal. And I know when I first got it, it said, I put my goal at, I think, 140 pounds. And it said that it would take me at least 2 years to get to my goal. Right now, estimated days until goal, it dropped within 2 weeks from about 400 and something days to now 327 days, which is saying that I reached my goal in about a year, but it's dropping so rapidly because I am losing the weight really well. I shouldn't have shown you the app because it's showing you what my weight is today. When I do this updates, I tell you what my weight is as of my last shot, which was on Wednesday last week. And obviously since Wednesday, I have lost a bit more. But let me get my trusty Excel spreadsheet, honey. Okay, So like I'm fully in the green now. So as of March 1st, which was Wednesday, my weight is 215.8. I'm a lot smaller than that. I just feel like I need to tell you that, but no. Not a lot, but I've lost a little more since then. But as of March 1st, last Wednesday, I'm at 215.8. From the week prior to the week of February 22, which was the last time I took the shot that Wednesday, to last Wednesday, I lost a total of 5.8 pounds. And really, it's like they say that the average weight you typically would lose a week should be about 2 pounds, like 2 pounds a week. So for a month, you're looking at losing an average of 8. If it's a month with 5 weeks, maybe 10 pounds. So I lost 5.6 pounds between that Wednesday and last week Wednesday. So as of this moment, dun, 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 I have lost 40.8 pounds. Honey, I should be calling it 41 pounds. 40.8 pounds. I'm a lot smaller than that today because this is from last week Wednesday. I've lost a lot more since then, but I have lost 40.8 pounds. So it's tracking. I'm losing at least 10 pounds each month, because if you count it, November 2nd, December 2nd, January 2nd, February 2nd, right? No, not November, sorry, we're gonna start counting from December because I started in November. So December 2nd, January 2nd, February 2nd, March 2nd, right? December, January, February, March, that's 4, right? 4. And I'm technically losing 10 pounds each month. So I'm at 40.8 pounds right now. And I could probably lose more. But when I get to the weekend, I do the wind down because I kind of want to level it out and then pick back up. Because I don't know. I don't want to do anything that's too drastic. And then your body's all, you know, Ozempic face. We don't want Ozempic face. So, yeah, that's what it is. That's where I'm just very excited. I'm very, very excited about this. What I've been doing since with the gym, I do like weeks on, weeks off, weeks on, weeks off. And like I told you, same thing I do. I just do light weights and I do the treadmill, just cardio. I can't wait to get on the 200. I think maybe I'll be a little lighter so I can get back to doing the jump roping because I absolutely love to jump rope. One thing that I've been doing, I don't know if you saw my little short, is the hula hoop. The hula hoop is supposed to be really good to help trim down your midsection. I had the first weighted one. Like I would do it and I could get it, and then the next few times I try it, no dice. And so I got the other one. Some people call it a smart hula hoop. And that one, same thing. When I started off, it wasn't working, but I figured it out. So sometimes on those weeks where I do not go to the gym, I just move the waist. Get to the hula hoop. So anyway, the boobs are going, my butt looks, I I gotta do more squats. Because yesterday I put on some jeans and I looked at my butt and I was like, this is not the butt that I'm familiar with. My butt was looking kind of flat. My video was like, what are you talking about? It's impossible. But I was like, you don't know. I'm telling you. So I gotta get back to those squats, man. I need to go find a pool somewhere because it's a lot easier to do the squats in the pool. But yes, that is the update. Look at my arms. Look at my arms. You know, it's just, it's a really good feeling. And you guys, if you're on this journey with me, if you're in the same position I'm in as far as your weight, or maybe not just weight, anything else, your health, your life, financial life, your love life, whatever it is that is kicking you hard, okay, I am rooting for you. I am rooting for you. I am wishing you success. I am wishing that you grit it out. You dig deep. You just hold fast to what it is that you're trying to accomplish. And I'm praying that you accomplish it. Okay? I am totally rooting for you. I'm excited. I 100% believe I'm going to get to my goal of 140 pounds. 130 maybe by August, because I have a plan and the plan is working. So anyway, that's the update. That's what I wanted to share with you, my Smooners. Thank you for joining me in this journey. As I said, please like, share, send your comments and your questions. I love getting those questions and I love being able to answer to what I can answer to. And but most especially, please subscribe to my channel and share. And am I rounding off? I think this month is supposed to be Obesity Month. World Obesity Day. Can you believe that? They have a day for it. March 4th is World Obesity Day. So this is a perfect day to be talking about this. So, and then I saw the other day that, I can't remember, I think it was on Twitter, that by 2020 something or so, half the population of the world is going to be obese. Can you believe that? Can you believe that? And I'm guessing that the Generation X's, and of course with the baby boomers, and I think there's a really large population of women who are in the Gen X. We're coming into that whole menopause, perimenopause phase, and that's probably going to account for the vast majority of the obese people. It's tough. This is what's happening. But anyway, I'm trying to pack so much into this, but I've shared with you my update. I'm excited. My next update, by the grace of God, I'd be 50 pounds lighter, and that's how it's going to keep going as I update. I try to put out a new video every week. Doesn't necessarily have to be about Ozempic. The last one I did last week was an unboxing of my Breville toaster. So something for everyone. Anyway, thank you, my Smooners, for sharing this time with me. I love you, and I will circle back.